Thanks for staying with us. So before we move on to our topic, it's important for us, the ladies of your view, to join all the Nigerians to celebrate two young ladies who did us proud. I think it's Faith Odunsi, the 15-year-old Nigerian student, beat China, US, UK, and others in a global math competition. Well done to her, Faith. And the other young lady is Tomi Singh Ogunobi. She beat 49,900 other prodigies from 170 countries to emerge one of the top 100 global winners in the $1 billion Rise Initiative. Wow. That's good. Awesome. You know, as we clap for these young people, we also pray that
this country good for these children.
People, that is it.
Don't let them go and be using abroad, Canada, all of those places to develop. Let's all keep our brains.
I'm telling you. Just thank God for them. Anyway, so another of those Friday feel-good topics. A controversial relationship expert, Blessing CEO, many of you know her on social media. She explained the reason why many women end up with bad men. According to her, most women don't value good men. They often see them as not attractive enough and sometimes boring. They are attracted to those ones that they are not boring, but after, they will give you talk. You know, the fine-looking, GQ, honey-looking, you know.
Yoruba
demon type. You now marry, you now he's punching you in the house. But what are your thoughts on this? Because as we are in this game called marriage and relationships and all that, it might be, we might know one or two things that people might look out for, you know, in this. What are your thoughts? You can call us on 081-270-53689, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read some of your messages. So, are the good men the ugly ones, or are the bad ones the fine ones? That's really the question.
It's not about fine.
It's not about,
yeah. Let me give you this story. There's this guy, I hope he's not watching. Oh my goodness, this guy. He was trying to date me then. He was year high. Right?
Right, stop this story.
Okay. No, give us the story now.
She has given us before.
I've not heard it. This guy tried. Hey, this guy was sure that I was his wife. He did everything to me.
You didn't like it?
I don't know.
Why? Because of the hair high?
I can't see. I can't see your head. I'm sorry. I just knew it was going to happen.
I was in trouble on Twitter before.
But I'm just saying, like, find your type.
All height matters.
Yeah. But you see, he was working at, was it NNP, one of those big companies, driving a fantastic car, you know, he was such a wealthy guy, but I just couldn't get over the height. I'm like, I can't, I need you to be,
okay. You know that I've seen how bad
I was clear. But today, I mean, he's still doing well. I'm just happy about it.
Just be a nice person.
He's a nice guy.
There was a guy who reached out to me through my Amira then to find a girl within school. I was then Amira, she had graduated. And he said the girl must not know who and what. She just must be interested. This is his name. This is his height. And he sent all these details. Okay. He had been badly beaten by tall girls in 16. So he doesn't want any girl who wants to know if she's... And we sort of introduced one of my seniors then, who I thought was eligible for marriage. They met once. And on her way back, she really liked him. He was short, truly. She was a bit taller than he is. She really liked him. But on her way back from Ibutemeta to Ikorodu, her phone dropped. She lost her phone. And so he kept sending her messages. After 2-3 attempts, he thought she had discriminated against him for his height again. And this poor lady kept calling me to reach him. And, you know, before we finally did the connections for them, everything already scattered. You know? So sometimes they are so badly, let's say that later in retrospect, it was so badly battered about it that, you know, he just didn't trust anybody. No,
I don't want to focus on this conversation on height issues, but I mean, those guys are usually very responsible.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's go back to the good guys and bad guys. So, I think also this bad guy thing is a culture. There's this video that was put out recently. This was in the UK. They were interviewing young girls and asking them about bad guys and good. They said they prefer bad guys or bad guy is interesting, bad guy is this, bad guy dresses like this, you know, and does that. Like, even if you know that this is how he is, eventually they're like, But, you know, these are young girls, they were teenagers. And I think it has become a culture where we glamorize bad men, bad guys, people that don't treat you well, people that when they call you, they don't call you again till after 2 weeks. Like, yeah, make her pine for me, and everybody is excited about that.
It seems like Mills and Boons.
Yes, but that's it, Mills and Boons, where we are glamorizing the men that are not nice. But me, I've decided I'm advocate for kindness and kind men. Kind men are the business. Oh, if you catch one, young girls, you see that nice boy. Also, then there's the one that they say nerdy boy. So he's nerdy. He does not wear cool. He does not turn his cap to the side. His trouser is not sagging, you know. And then you think that that's not exciting. All I know is that Mark Zuckerberg does not look like a bad guy. And look at who he is today. Do you understand? Look at them, Bill Gates. They were not bad boys-looking people. But look at where they are today. Go for men that are kind. Kind men are always there to support you. There's some conversations you not even have with a guy that is a nice guy.
What is even love without kindness?
You will not be having conversation of, you can't do this, you cannot be this, because you cannot. Even if he does not understand something, he will have a conversation to understand where you are going, where you're coming from.
Interesting you said that. It's so important because I never really dated a kind person. I did all kind of people, but they weren't really so kind to me. And I think that was probably one of the things where that pushed me to that Abuja trip. So I was just looking for somebody now offered me perfume, and I was almost, got in trouble for that. So is that kindness when you're with somebody who just thinks about you, cares about you, sacrifices his own resources for you? That's kindness.
Yeah. What is even love without it?
What I know is that people marry or date at the level of their self-esteem. So you see people who are good. So there's a difference between confidence and self-esteem. Two different, like the poles are just two apart. You may be confident. You see a woman who has worked, who has earned, she has capacity, she has track record, and then she's still attracted to people who disrespect her. Because while she has confidence in her abilities, she does not respect herself. She still feels that she's not good enough. She's inadequate. And because we're energies, and back to that energy again, you would attract who you are. So the thing we need to start teaching our girls is to learn self-esteem. Love who you are. If you love yourself, you will be attracted to people who love you, who see the way you pamper yourself and come and pamper you. See, this life, I did not come to suffer. I always tell people, I did not come to suffer. I came to cross-leg and enjoy. And one of the things my father did for me was to ensure that I had a healthy self-esteem. So when you now start dating, you see people, everybody will be coming to test now, who is this? I want like this. And I was easily sifted from 16. I was sifting them off. You disrespect me, go. You talk to me anyhow, go. You condemn my home. Maybe you come to my house and see that we don't have a fine house. You talk bad about me. I kept till I found somebody who did not need to understand my dreams, but just loved me enough to support them. When I found somebody was calling my husband recently, I was like, we didn't know you are like this, so we forhook you that time. He was not just me. I said, what they did not see, I saw a mile away. Because I was already in a place where I suffered a lot growing up. I suffered a lot growing up. If I write a book, I will sell out. I went through a lot growing up that I could not afford to have a man who disrespected me. I could not afford it. It was not there. So it's not like women like bad men.
I'm going to break.
All right, go on
Okay. You get some serious meat. We need to digest it and come and analyze it when we come back. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, before the break, Beecee gave us some serious hard nuggets, which hit me, it struck me hard because it just brought me to my own reality. You said something which I thought was profound. You said that we date and marry at the level of our self-esteem, which hit me so hard because I remember that I was getting married. I met my husband at the age of 29. And in Nigeria, 29 is like you are hitting that leg where you feel like you're hitting 30 and you're a young girl and you feel like, okay, what's happening? I dated quite a lot of people, but for whatever reason, we just broke up. I just wasn't interested. So meeting at 29, I was like, okay, this guy is cool and all that. So, and I wasn't demanding those things I wanted. So I always complained that my husband doesn't take me out to dinner. We don't do stuff. So I think I wasn't paying attention to those important things to me. I was willing to submerge or suppress those needs. So I wasn't waiting for the person that would be giving me gifts because I wasn't getting any serious gifts. But he was a mature, responsible person ready to settle down. So that was enough for me. But now that I'm married, I'm asking, take me out to dinner now. He's like, it's wahala. Birthday now, give me something, it's wahala. But at that point, I met.
It was not in your.
It was not in my. It was not priority. But I was willing to suppress that. So but is that a bad thing?
It depends on what you want out of life. It also depends on who you are as a person. So for some people, they are okay taking away those things. For them, the most important thing is that he loves me. He's a good father to my children, and that's enough. For others who,
those perks are so important.
They're important to them. For me, it's important to me, basically. So I wouldn't have settled if I didn't see it, because I had gone through. So one thing I noticed is people who go through homes that have everything, intact, like mother, father are there. There are certain things that are not in their consciousness. They are not. They don't see it coming. But if you have a child who has gone through what I went through, I saw like bad behavior being replayed. So I could tell very easily that this is not what I wanted for myself. I saw my daughter recently composing a song, and the song was, she wants a man that will love her the way her father loves her mom. I cried in the bathroom. Like, she was writing the lyrics, she was singing it, and I was just wondering, what are you singing? Because she sings like me. What are you singing? And then I heard the lyrics, I was like, whoa, okay, all right. So it depends on what you want as a person. If you can manage, it's fine. Marriage is marriage.
Although I think you're not the example we're talking about. For most girls, for most young girls, there's this lack of clarity when they're making these decisions. Some people just want the wedding. They don't know, they don't care. They have a picture of a picture-perfect spouse for the society. They don't know what their inner peace, happiness require. And you're doing well, you're a career person. For some people, it's even economic empowerment to find a spouse. So as Amira then, I saw a lot of sisters who settled for marriage. I remember one of our classmates, it was even a norm that, you're not even interested in marrying, you're not open to people within school, and it was about you being proud. You will end up sad. You will not find a good spouse kind of thing. So sisters, and you find a brother will be dating a sister, you bring her, she's still in school, you're talking down at her. You say, our daddy were kind of arrangement, where you are, some people will now come and your love language is now seem to be disrespectful. If you call your husband, maybe in your own privacy, some things they say, and then they bring that into a relationship and they sort of religionized it. Now I'm talking to my own people. They sort of religionized and made it seem, I'll be like, no. In Islam, the Prophet's example of romance and respect for spouse is the best. So why are you looking up and down and looking like you cannot talk to your spouse, you are confused? In fact, women around the Prophet had opportunity to express themselves. If you're in a relationship and you're not happy about something your spouse did, in the most articulate and strong words, you can reject it. And we have the examples plenty in the class. And somebody now can say, I'm not an example of a Muslim. I just told myself, I said, in the four corners of this university, may no brother see me.
Going back to this good man, goodbye. So, because it's nice that we're sharing our stories, because isn't it all perfect? I mean, I'm complaining that I wasn't taken out to dinner, but I've been to enough dinners. I've gone to enough restaurants to last me a lifetime with all my girlfriends. Every 2 weeks we're going to dinner. So maybe that was one of the reasons I was willing to compromise. But we're all different in different experiences. So you must know where you are per time. So, but how do you know a good from a bad based on what Beecee was saying?
Yeah, but can I just add to yours as well, which is, marriage is also a journey and people grow. And just like we were talking about in bed when you want to be cuddled or not cuddled, and eventually you make sacrifices, your husband has grown with you and he understands that there's some things that he likes. And he's done some of those things that, he was not comfortable doing in the beginning. So that's just the journey of marriage. And that's why it is important, again, to be with a kind person. Because only a kind person, a kind person will even give room for that conversation to happen in the first place. So even if, your self-esteem was a problem at that time when you get married, if you marry a kind person, they are there willing to help you grow and develop yourself and grow. You asked the second question.
So way back to what Beecee was saying, that the good men are the ones that are not so attractive, they're boring, they like the...
I don't know if by physicality you can tell who a good man is. A good man is a person who is a good person that does good things. A bad person is a person with a bad character, simple. But I also understand what she means by, and I know we've talked about it here when we talked about kind men. Many men sent messages, which is, yes, but you disrespect us. You call us weak men because we are kind. And that is something we have, especially in Nigeria, because this is where I don't know of other countries. But in Nigeria, we really look at men who take the time to be nice, to be kind, to be considerate.
Or
as
you
weak
yourself
men.
are not kind.
Yes, we see them because also we see every time that when we see a man that is being aggressive, we're like, that's a man. He showed up like he's the man.
There's even some kind men who shop to catch you.
Yes, and that's the thing.
Some
Being
of them are
kind
tough.
is not stupidity, it's not foolishness. It just means that I'm going to give enough consideration for you.
Yeah.
But one thing with kind people too, when you finally get to that point, okay, they will just hands off you, and then you'll be begging like in your
We need to wrap up on this.
Okay, I think the lady in question, she nailed it when she said that women are the problem of women. We are our own problem. You know, society has made it in such a way that, just like Miriam said, the men who are seen to be aggressive are seen as the man, you know? And so that is all we see. And while in your heart you want somebody to love you and understand you, but what will people say if you bring this man and he's cutting yam in the kitchen and your friends walking, you don't turn him to a person when they
not cut it when your friends
now in they wash baby diaper. Now in they do this, I don't turn him to woman wrap, I don't put him for bottle. So because of that mindset, you're not like, I need somebody that would stand up and say no and allow me to do all the suffer. When you now get in, and the suffering starts, it becomes a different ballgame. So we are the society, now we the people, we are the problem. So, but if we can teach our children to be, like she said, be kind, be nice, be respectable, so that wherever you find yourself, whether I don't have to hide from cutting yam for you because of what my neighbors will say. You're my wife. I want to help you out in the kitchen. It's okay. And it will make people start feeling that I am weak because I'm cutting yam for my wife in the kitchen. So we should own our space. I am a man, like Oga has been the one taking care of the children since they resumed this new school, baits them in the morning, dresses them up. It doesn't mean he's a weak man. If a friend comes to the house and decides to say, your husband is a weak man, I will wash you.
Okay, we don't hear.
They are the one enjoying it.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue. Please, let's take messages on Facebook. I'll take a phone call when we come back. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about how do you know the good from the bad, and you know that if the good men are the ones that are really, they are the ones that come across as boring, and the bad ones are the ones that come across as good. But there's an angle we've not touched, where the fine-looking men, women like those ones because they think they're very good in the other room. You know, you see a man, he's well chiseled.
No, it's the bad
tall.
guy.
The bad guy.
The bad guy. He looks like that's what I meant to say. The bad guy. He looks bad, terrible. That he's going to. This guy will mess you up in this place, and you turn you over, and you'll be in cloud nine, and everything will be.
Yes, Mariah, is this you?
Hey. So, I'm just saying what people are saying now. I'm acting like they're acting. Please, this is not me.
What you people said behind the show.
So is it those bad guys? Are they the ones that are good in that other side?
Miriam will let us know. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Nima was saying she hasn't spoken, but so I've heard that conversation too. And for me, a man who is not kind will not know how to give pleasure. Because he thinks it's a competition, he needs to prove himself, and then he will do everything he thinks in the books will show that I'm a man. So I'll go for hours on end, no matter how the other person is feeling, you know. Or I will do things that will show, yes, I don't know if I can use the word, I'll go hard and strong, and yet, you know, the person that you're supposed to be doing with is not enjoying it. But a kind person, because it comes with, kindness is not just in one thing, it's in everything that you do. So that sort of person is watching to see, are you enjoying this?
How do you respond?
What more of, you know, what can I do more of and less of? Are you okay? Are you, know, the other one like, yes,
considerate.
I'm done, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Next.
That's not what we want.
No,
so, but a kind guy would be considerate of your feelings, how you're feeling per second. He wants to know if he's hitting the spot or he's not. I think this call Philip. Are we still on the breakfast show? Morning, Philip, are you there? I think we lost that call. Okay.
I don't know how women consider kindness weakness. I think a person that is confident with their kindness it is visible because they'll be kind to people around them generally.
Not just you.
They'll be kind to people that, you know, family members, they're immediate. You'll be able to tell. There was one thing I used to look out for in people. how do you relate with everybody? Some people will start like this when they scratch their car. You want to marry me? We cannot be doing that now. Or maybe an attempt to calm you down at the point of anger.
Scream and
say,
push
wait there until I finish. The relationship has ended. Please don't come to our house again. You know, that kind of thing. So for me, kindness, consideration, and even when a person drops a tear, because the very first trial in my marriage, in fact, it happened the week of the wedding. My husband cried to inform me about it. And I was touched. I was like, the pain you reach like that. I don't even, you know, yet. And I think that's some of those things, subtle respect, courtesy that people show others. Because when you enter the real thing, when life happens,
you need a kind person on your
you
side.
need somebody that can hold your hand. No one that will say, my family say that. But I want this thing can happen to you.
I want to disagree with Mariam a bit. Because, you know, I have dated a few bad guys. Bad-looking guys. These guys are very romantic. There's just something about them that's just, you know, they just know what to do because they're experienced. Yes. They understand the kind of things you like, you know. So maybe it's not all bad guys that might not be as good as actors.
Okay, so the thing is, women like to keep their adrenaline yes, pumping at all times. Yeah. That's what the bad guys give to you because they are not predictable. You call them and they don't pick your call and you're wondering, you're constantly guessing. So that keeps you like, hey, did I please him today? Did I do this today? And at a certain age, it works when you still want somebody to make you. When you start getting to 30-something, 40, you don't need somebody to give you an attack. You need a kind, calm person who is stable. That's what you need. Hallelujah. And I also realized that I dated quite a few, not compared to you, but I dated quite a few. And I know that you see those calm, nerdy, calculating guys, they are badder, but they don't make noise. They don't shout. Their own bad is in observation. They observe you. They know exactly where to hit it. Hey. You see those ones? They come at the very bad guy. They make noise. You see them having conversations on the table. I give her 5, 7, 8, 9. Go and ask the babe. Not do anything. He not touch anywhere. You know? So those ones that are calmer and more calculative when they handle you, when they are ready to handle you, you see the difference. Yeah. But we're always in a hurry because we feel that adrenaline rush is what we need. And so these ones are bad and all of that.
And just to respond to, you know, when you said that these bad guys understand what to do because they have experience. You're right. But they're doing it more for accolades. Do you understand? They're doing it for themselves. So still, no matter how experienced they are, they still leave you with a bad taste in your mouth. You know, you somehow feel used. Like, I thought we were supposed to be in this together. And then, you know, I was reading something recently. It was so funny. She says, I've been dating this guy for 6 months. Just yesterday, the guy looked at me and said, sis, how come you don't have a boyfriend? Yeah, those are bad guys. So here I am thinking I'm in a relationship. Bad guy has moved. You're dating yourself. So those are the things, you know. You understand all the things to do surface level to make you feel a certain way. But when it comes to the deep stuff,
some girls like the rush. They think that, you know, I'll win him eventually. They know he's a bad guy. They know he wants an open relationship. I'm dating you, but I can date 25 others. And they know they will not be there hoping. I think that's stupidity. So you too, even in my youth, I don't think I had time for stress. I wanted somebody who wanted me. If you know, don't bother me. You know, don't stress me. One day my husband jokingly said, when I married, you were so thin. Now you're so robust. Now you look like a woman. I said, if you don't leave me for my leg past because I don't plan to be
just like what Mariam said earlier. So a girl will go and so boyfriends, you cook, you clean, you and your wife eating, and the boy will greet you. Your husband will enjoy you. And like, what?
That's a bad guy.
That's a bad guy.
He has told you that he's not your husband.
You can please. I would like to take some calls on this because it's important. I'm enjoying this conversation because a lot of young people, especially those that are in their mid-30s, as you said, I like what you said earlier that you've passed that stage of the butterflies or that adrenaline pumping. Let me know, is this guy, is this kind? I want us to now help the kind man. Because these kind men are out there. But they sometimes feel used. They feel intimidated by these bad women. Girls. So by these bad girls. So how can a kind man attract a kind woman? How can a kind man, you know, observe enough to know somebody like him? Because some of them are always attracted to the
Opposite
feisty
attract.
opposite.
Yes.
So how do you therefore, how do we help a kind man right now?
So it's two ways. The kind man also wants a rush of adrenaline. And you will see somebody beside him who has been his friend from childhood, who is stable, who is like him. They are both nerdy. They go to class together, they read together, but he will not be attracted to that person because there's no rushing towards that person. But he will not see an Ayangba and feel attracted to the Ayangba. Unfortunately for you, Ayangba does not want you. Ayangba wants their other Yoruba demon. So there's always a mix. But I think as men begin to get older and they want to settle down, they start looking out for certain things. So as a kind person, you can hide your kindness a bit. So let me give you an instance. I don't know if he did it purposely, but I knew that my guy was termed bad guy in school at the time for whatever reason. But when I met him, I saw a good guy. But outsiders were seeing him as a bad person.
Guy.
So he was a good guy, but he was coded. So he would do the yo. He would follow them. But when he's going to but when he's going to class, he will wear his trousers, his shirt, he will wear his tie. When I'm coming to visit him, I'll come with my books. If I don't bring my books, he'll send me back. So I saw the good that others didn't see. So I don't know how. Yes, I don't know how you can. You know, just protect yourself.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back to wrap up this conversation, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about relationships, our Feel Good Friday conversation. So my husband has this really close friend. Let's take some messages. I hope you're
We've not seen.
No, okay. That's
I don't think we're online.
Facebook
gone
is
off
not
YouTube.
Oh, so sad.
So let's apologize.
So I have a friend. We apologize for our viewers on Facebook and Instagram. We do apologize. And YouTube. We do apologize that we couldn't stream live today. So my husband has this friend, same childhood, same background, same pedigree. So, I mean, and when I knew he was single, I tried to hook him up with my own friend, who I could also vouch for. She's my girlfriend, like Timo. You know? So I hooked them up, and she was like willing to try. Okay, no problem. They went for it. I think they tried to go on a date. But then the guy just said he wasn't interested. And my girlfriend was asking me, what happened now? Just one date and everything. So now I found out, I asked my husband, go and find out from your friend, what happened? You know, when Brown came back, like they said, nah, leave that matter. This guy is looking for, like, your...
Sha.
Yeah, yes. You know, because he's a calm guy. I thought he want to marry somebody like me, or, you know. No, he was looking for your Kim Kardashian kind of blonde, dumb blonde, fine, young, bone straight kind of person. I said,
he will not be confused.
Where would he find that kind of person? Hey, so
he will find.
That is what was attracting him. And I found that really shocking. Because so when you say opposites attract, but can his personality as a calm, cool, collected guy sustain that kind of person?
Let's not be mismatched.
There's this program that they used to do where Millionaire Matchmaker is called, and she used to have like older men who insist that they want the girls to be in their 20s, they want them to be a certain way, and she would like to, you know, she would advise them and say, given your personality and the sort of work that you do, I don't think this person is good for you. But then what she would do, she would get them like two options. So she would get them exactly who they wanted, and then someone she felt that was more appropriate for them. And they would go on dates. And eventually, you know, of course, the excitement in the beginning, and then eventually when life becomes real, they find out that that person cannot fit into their life, then it wanes, and then the other person that they have. So some people need to also go through that thing. Also, there's another thing where men feel, men like to conquer. So for a man who many times has been told, oh, you're kind, you're nice, you're not, it's something it's an achievement for him to conquer a girl like that, that looks like that people would not have thought would be attracted to him. So sometimes some people make the mistake, they now get married to women like that, and we find them struggling because we'll be looking at them like, how did you even end up with this person? You know, but for me, because I'm raising a boy child, I want my child to be kind, but I also want him to be smart. I want him to go for someone that really likes him for who he is, because there's also the tendency for people like that to be preyed upon. But a woman who understands, sees all the gifts and the values and thinks, okay, I can come and just use and leave. So a kind man also needs to be smart, he needs to be wise. Like your kindness is a whole gift, and some people may take advantage of that.
Stupidity.
Yes, kindness is not stupidity, kindness is not foolishness.
So don't use your girlfriend to do wife and use your wife to do girlfriend. There's something we used to say.
Yeah.
So the person who you're supposed to marry, you feel, I'm not really attracted, I'm not feeling that gym towards this person. And then you go for the one that you feel gym towards. And when the chips are down, you now realize that because opposites attract, but it doesn't sustain. That's what I've come to realize over time. It doesn't sustain. Those differences you have always come to play in the relationship long term, in the marriage long term. You now realize that we're two different people now. I don't even understand why somebody takes toothpaste from the bum, the other person takes toothpaste from the neck, and then every time we're fighting over the toothpaste because they are different people. So I think we all need to be wise at the end of the day. At your, in your young age, 20s, explore, date people, meet people, know people. When it's time to settle down, go for that person that will give you peace of mind. That's all you need.
You
have to run.
Okay. I've not said anything.
Please,
go ahead. So there's an extreme importance for you to start to think about who you want to have children for or children with.
Yes.
Have that clarity even when you are carrying everywhere so that you don't end up the wrong place. You don't want to end up with someone, you're apologizing to your children every day about the sort of father or mother that you gave them.
Amen. So on that note, that's all we can take on this Feel Good Friday kind of show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye for now.